As a brief recap before we start this episode, this is sort of one of the probably the penultimate playthrough test of my module Carapace. Although I suppose it's no longer Carapace because this is more of a wilderness hex crawl after leaving the ant hive. So the adventurers have been to the town, gone to the ant hive, um, cleared it out essentially, and then this is they then left the hive, and this is the second session on the road. One thing I will say is that me and my friend who's play testing it with me, um, we had to arrange it at short notice, or I think basically had to get something done. So it all happened very quickly, and he didn't have his version of In the Heart of the Unknown in front of him, my one-page sort of random hex crawl generating tool. So I was getting him to roll and telling him what the results that he would normally do. So he would normally tell me what the weather is and the terrain type, and I would be essentially rolling as the DM for the encounters to keep it a surprise, and that way the workload would be more distributed. So it was probably not in terms of like exactly how I'd like to have play tested it, but still it was still a fun session. Okay, cheers.
Actually, one thing I think we missed out on last time. Do you remember when you went to that ant room and it was full of moisture, really condensation, and the next room was the tunnel out to the waterfall?
Yeah.
Well, that made perfect sense in retrospect, because that was like maybe it was all misted up because it was all water coming in from the mist from the waterfall.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Okay.
Could have been that we were right underneath the feed to it or something. That would have been quite cool.
Under the what? Sorry.
Under the feed to the waterfall.
Right
under it. And...
Ooh, yeah, that would have been sweeter. I wish I thought of that. Okay, so just to recap, do you want to recap or shall I? It's up to you. As in where you left off.
So I reckon we smashed up a few ogres. That one got away though, unfortunately. So that's going to be a slithering tracker.
Which they
and
an ogre falls out of the sky.
Yeah. And then we managed to destroy the ogre kind of lair, or make it relatively more uninhabitable. Had a good look at it, made sure thing there, and then just kind of rested up.
Okay, so that reminded me, because this wouldn't have been a bad time for you to like look at some of the things you found if you wanted to. I don't know if that's what you want to do now, or do you want to just keep going? You can look at them in town. I mean,
I think we'll look at them in town.
Time pressure.
I think
as in tonight we might just press on.
That was kind of my thing. There was more. So again, my kind of thought process on that type of stuff. Although obviously it's a little bit of time to get back, but my thought process was the guys are relatively kind of goodly, so they want to kind of get back and let everybody know that the queen's gone, and also the guy who lost his daughter or his son or whatever,
yeah,
the brooch,
daughter.
just all the other kind of little bits there. I kind of figured they want to try and get that done as a matter of course, as opposed to kind of stopping and think about stuff and other bits and pieces.
Okay, cool.
So I don't need 2d6.
Well, yeah, 2d6 and 2d6.
Cool. Let me just. Cool. So 2d6. First one is 8. Second one 4.
4. Okay, so in terms of weather, it starts to rain a bit. So it was kind of like sunny, on and off, but now it's starting to definitely drizzle now. Just steady rain. And you come down off the hills and you're now more into sort of a bit of an arid area. It seems it's actually got quite sandy now. The hills have kind of sloped away. I mean, it's not like, I guess the town that you were at before was a bit, it was on a sort of, it was kind of sandy-ish dry, but this definitely seems quite a lot drier. Maybe the water that's going into the waterfall is drained away, so this is the area that's been left.
Okay. Yep.
Not covered in water. So yeah, so since in a sense ahead of you is basically fairly for as far as you can see, you're coming down the hills and just like this sort of extended bit of sand.
Okay. All right then. Well, kind of wondering if we should stick to the foothills and kind of go along that way.
You could
Kind of just on the.
could try to backtrack towards the hills and then try to find a different way.
And you say around the city, that kind of seemed more kind of like arable-ish but when we were discussing before, or it kind of felt that way.
Yeah, it was
All
dry.
right, yeah, we'll do that.
So you're going to backtrack to hills. And okay, so we're just going to reverse this move back to here. So it's going to take you another bit of the day. So let's just see if the weather changes. Do you want to roll?
6.
Okay, it's now just the rain. As you come back off to hills, it sort of starts to dry up again. So now it's just cloudy, not nothing too bad.
Okay. And it's kind of overcast, cloudy, or just essentially what one of my majors was thinking if he's got fly was.
Sorry, was that?
One of my majors was thinking just to. If he's got fly to kind of go up and just do a quick swoop around and come back down again, just to see if he can see anything that would help us.
Okay, so it's sort of blue sky with clouds, so it's quite nice, actually quite nice weather. So
yeah,
you follow along the hills for a bit, and nothing too untoward happens. So essentially, it's by the end of the day, you decide to presumably hunker down in amongst some of these hills, presumably.
Yeah, for real. I mean, there was that kind of path that with the kind of road thing that we were following.
Oh
wasn't
shit!
There? So
sorry, dude. That reminds me. You had the road, didn't you? Okay, so I screwed up there. Sorry, let me. I want to get this right because. Well, let's just play it through. So what did I roll? I rolled that. So well, I'm going to stick to what we got, but it is.
Sorry, man, losing you a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that you had the road. So you were following the road, weren't you? So let's take that all back.
Yeah.
We'll just take it all back because it changes how things panned out. So you follow this road along. All right, so you were walking along this road, and this road did go through the plains, but it wasn't just like desolate plains. So presumably, instead of backtracking to the hills, you continued along this road.
Yeah. If that's where the road's going.
Okay, it was raining.
Yep.
That's the way. And then so at the end of the day, you're still going on the road, and do you want to camp down for the night?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we'll look to just make sure it's a kind of a safe-ish area to think there. If there's anywhere that we can be maybe a slightly higher elevation or anything like that at all, then we'll go for that. But otherwise, we just try and be as safe as we can.
Okay. All right. So essentially, something goes wrong in the night with your camp, and I'll let you tell me what happens because basically there's something. I mean, you don't have any horses to lose, so that didn't happen. Maybe you actually didn't manage to get your fire going, although you've got magic missiles.
We've got magic missiles and stuff, haven't we? And burning hands and stuff like that. So
that's true.
I wonder if maybe
you could use the magic up to like say you couldn't get the fire going, so he. Well, actually, let's just say actually it's desert. You couldn't find any burning. You couldn't find anything to burn.
Yeah, no, that could be it, couldn't it?
So I'm gonna say that. Yeah, you can't find anything to burn.
It's a fairly cold night. Obviously because we're out in the kind of the kind of more arid area anyways. Nothing to burn unless we kind of want to lose any kind of slightly more important things, so I guess everyone's fairly cold.
Maybe you don't want to fire anyway. I suppose could be you're exposed anyway.
Yeah, I mean I guess so, but also I think sometimes that can be quite helpful as well. I guess it's wilderness, but it's not it's on the road as well, so there might be someone that needs things there.
So you're just going to camp near the road and yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything that if there's nothing to kind of nothing to burn or anything like that at all. It's a fairly miserable night for everybody. There's we can do limited things, but not that much to kind of heat food and all the other bits. So it's a fairly cold, miserable, kind of grumpy night.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to say, because it was such a like nasty night, and you were sort of worried about this potential visitors and things, that you don't get a particularly good restful night, so no one gains a hit point.
Okay.
Resting.
Yeah, everyone's max anyway, but yeah.
Right, okay, fine. So anyway, got cure light wounds and all that. Okay, yeah. So you wake up next morning, sun comes up. The weather, I'm just going to keep the weather you went with last time. So the weather now brightens. It's a lovely day. So cool. You've also been rained on, which was also not enjoyable. Should we roll again?
Yep. Okay, first roll is a 7, followed by 5.
Okay, you're gonna have to hold that thought because I was rolling 2. Okay. What did you get, sorry, dude?
7 followed by 5.
Okay. So the as you follow along this road, it starts to get more and more kind of arable looking.
Okay,
nice.
Cool. Lovely.
Oh, tell me, what was the other one? 5.
5.
And the sun comes out. It's a beautiful day.
Yay! Everyone's happy.
And as you start moving along, you start seeing signs of. You start seeing some more land. The road seems to improve. It seems to gain wider.
Yep.
And more kind of traveled. You start seeing things that look like maybe fences or signs of maybe people have been there, or like maybe little lean-tos and things. They're not habited, but there's definitely, you get the feeling that these areas are looking like coppiced woods and stuff. And it looks like basically you're much more near civilization than you were before.
Ah, lovely. Okay, cool. Draw my sword.
Always wise.
Yeah, obviously we'll keep on going. Obviously, I guess this time the guys are slightly more. Although we're in a better area, they probably should have been a little bit more wise to it. But we'll just make sure that when we do get to a point where we can rest, then we'll make sure that there's stuff for firewood and other bits and pieces as well.
Well, yeah, there's definitely much more kind of stuff. So at the end of the day, I guess you could probably hunker down in one of these like lean-tos that you saw, or you can.
Yeah, well, that was the thing I was going to say. If there's anything that kind of comes up that's a bit, even if there's looks like there's a farmstead or anything like that at all, we'll maybe just approach them just to see if they want any news of the outside world, and we can kind of share their roof for the night.
Yeah, no, you don't see anything that's actually habitation, but there's definitely you can tell you're much more near habitation. Like this
cool.
Stuff that you can you can tell that civilization around, but you haven't seen any kind of actual habitation yet.
Okay,
so,
but nothing kind of destroyed or anything, or pillaged or anything like that at all, because there's just hobgoblins around, wasn't there? So
yeah, no, it looks fine.
Okay, cool.
So,
lovely.
So you're going to camp over?
Yes, please.
So you got me slide on the hop here, so I haven't had a chance to read it.
That's all right, mate.
Okay. So tell me about your campsite again. So what's it like? I'll let you tell me. You know roughly what your terrain is and stuff, so I just need to know more about what you picked.
Yeah, so we've kind of gone for maybe one of these kind of lean-to-y type things that are around for the kind of main group to bed down in, whilst we've obviously got like sentries going about. I think the guys are kind of maybe a bit more, although it's been a nice hot sunny day, or not hot, but it was sunny. The guys are quite keen to have a more restful night, so it might be maybe a slightly bigger fire than it would have been.
Makes sense.
They just kept banked up, but they've just really enjoyed kind of just making sure they've a nice hot meal and then kind of, as I say, just bedded down in one of these lean-tos, just making sure that there's 2 exits from it or whatever, if it is if it is kind of a proper walled thing, or if it's just literally just a shelter type thing.
Yeah,
So,
well, there's probably like a stone wall, dry wall that you could sort of perch up against and sort of like secure against that or something. Is that
yeah.
okay?
So a lot better spirits today, I think, just because of getting back into civilization. So there might be a little bit of singing and kind of not too much merriment, because obviously they couldn't take that much along with them or anything like that at all, beer wise or anything like that at all. But certainly they're probably begin to feel a little bit better about themselves.
Makes sense. Okay, so okay, roll me. Well, all right. I rolled, so you are surprised.
I lost you just there for a second, dude.
I thought you were just rolling your eyes. I said you are surprised.
No.
No, you don't want to hear it?
Yep, got you back
Okay.
now.
All right. So I was saying you are surprised.
Gutted.
So you guys are all like singing Kumbaya and all this kind of, we're on the road home and all this kind of stuff. When suddenly, I presume it's like in a circle, got a couple of watches, have you, outside?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so let's just let's just imagine you're against the wall.
Yeah.
And there's fire. So what are you, in a semicircle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or is there 4 in the middle and 2 guards on the side? What's the layout?
Yeah, four in the middle around the fire, and then the 2 guards would kind of be slightly out, just to make sure that there's kind of there's no shenanigans coming. Clearly they're not very good though.
All right, let's have a go here. Okay, so which I'm going to say it's Hanar, so I figure it's Calm Savage on one side and Hanar on the other, is it?
Guard wise, or
yeah,
yeah, I guess I mean, I'm quite happy to roll a d6 to see who it is, mate. To be honest, because it's
one of the 2. So yeah, so it's one of the outriders, one of the lookers. Okay. So whichever one you like.
Let me just see who it is at that particular time. Okay, so it's either going to be, so Hanar would be on your left and Perrin would be on your right.
Oh, well, in that case, it's Perrin.
Okay.
Let me just do this.
What kind of thief he is, dickhead.
Okay, so this thing just bursts out of the ground like this, just kind of like, it's obviously felt Perrin dancing around like this or something, or tapping his feet with his pipe. And
I'm trying to do moonwalk him.
He kind of just opens his mouth like this and goes, and sprays this hideous bile at him.
Mm.
Okay, so he needs to, I'm gonna say he has to hit. But oh, take it back. I realized I've not been doing the mechanic correctly. You were a halfling in the party, don't you?
Yeah.
And an elf. I think I can only surprise you on a 1 in 6, not 2 in 6. So you're not surprised.
Hey.
So it's like like this. This thing bursts up like this. Let's roll for initiative. So yeah, what's it look like? It looks like you pretty much had your fill of like chitinous kind of creatures, but this thing looks like a large, almost like a prey mantis. It's quite big, segmented, mandibles, but burst out of the ground.
Okay. Okay, cool. Initiative.
D10. Low's good.
Of course it is.
Beat a 3.
6. Literally, I don't think I've ever beaten you so far. even when my guys have clearly had it on the up, I think that they've still.
I remember the time you dropped that fireball and they still weren't surprised. Expecting that. Okay, so he still unloads with the digestive juices that we talked about before.
Yep.
Oh yeah, sorry, dude. I'm gonna get my. As I said, I'm joining a bit late. None of this stuff is organized. So give me armor class for Perrin.
Oh, yep. 2 seconds. Beastie there. Armor class.
It's not very high, if I remember correctly.
No, it's not 3.
Oh, it's not bad. Not bad,
Dear,
but not great for a 7th level character. Radio.
Yeah.
What's his NOA? Right. He just like sprays it like this and just completely like maybe he's expecting someone a bit taller, so he just sprays it above his head like that.
Oh gosh.
Basically this like hideous kind of bile comes billowing out.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so
Obviously,
basically the top half of it's out of the ground now.
Yeah.
It's basically trying to like spray your friend, but missed.
That's not very nice. Okay, cool. So Perrin is gonna, what is he gonna do? He does have his boots of leaping and striding. Does that can he kind of just leap back out of the way?
Yeah, he probably can. Try to join the rest of the group. Let me just read this again. I don't think I've completely read it wrong, but I just want to check something. Okay, so what are you going to do? So if you like, you've got a group in the middle, you've got Perrin at that side, and you've got the other guy on the other side, and he's kind of come up underneath him and try to digest
and
him.
Is he in between him and the campsite, or is he kind of
I think he's
away, or?
I think he's probably on the far side, so he's not in between you and the you and the site.
You and that side. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay.
So even though it's now your initiative, guys, I'm going to say you're all going to have to think about how you react, because you're not exactly ready for it. So it's your turn to sort of grab his stuff, and I guess whoever was on guard is ready. All right. So you tell me what you're up to. I'm just going to start moving my stuff around over.
Yep. So I reckon. Obviously, Perrin's going to shout out.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably working out. I think this kerfuffle probably woke everyone up, because it's quite an impressive thing.
Belch,
but he's probably still, yes, but you're probably right. He probably has screamed, "Lads!
Alarm, alarm, to me. So then.
And you're experienced, aren't you? This is not your, in quotes, first rodeo and all that.
Yeah. So I think the cleric and the fighter at the campsite are going to grab like burning branches or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
To start running over toward the whatever this thing is. The two magic users are going to follow them, but obviously actually the hang on, the fighter magic user can actually probably take it a little bit better, can't he? So the fighter magic user can take it better. So the fighter magic user will run over, and then the other magic user will come with the cleric and the fighter with the burning branches, and then the other fighter, Hanar, will kind of come back to the camp, but still looking out the other way to make sure there's nothing else kind of coming in or anything like that at all.
Just wondering what's reasonable for a sleeping party in terms of like gear, because obviously sleeping in plate mail is probably unlikely, isn't it? But
yeah,
I don't know what's the fairest thing to say about that.
I mean, I guess we hadn't quite bedded down for the night at that point, had we? If we were still kind of partying and kind of shouting and screaming and stuff.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose. Well, I guess you probably were getting ready for bed.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they. You're right. They probably wouldn't have like everything on.
Well, should we bump all your armor classes up a bit, because maybe you've got your leather cladding on or something, leather pajamas, that stuff. I guess you could use some time to get ready to fight and let someone hold the fort, but I think you got a choice. I think you can fight as you are, grab your weapons, and be ready for next round. Where whoever Perrin and whoever's the other, is it Hanar on guard? Who were the two on guard? Or Callum?
I think it was Callum actually. Sorry. Yeah.
So they're kitted out and ready to go. I guess
Yeah.
magic users don't. Well, I guess actually the magic users depends what they're wearing, doesn't it?
Well, one of them's a fighter
Yeah.
mech user, isn't he? So, and he actually does have his stuff. So
Yeah.
so he probably, yeah. So they're probably, yeah, I agree. They're not probably quite in as much
I mean, the problem
armor
is
as they would be, are they?
I know because you're playing a whole group, it's a bit trickier for you, but I guess we don't know if they've got braces of defense or, because things like that could be, like a ring of protection is bound to like be fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether we just add 3 to all your armor classes as a sort of average thing.
Yeah.
Or you want to work it out.
No, I think that's fair, to be honest. I think that's, it's not as if they're walking down the road fully kitted up and kind of ready to go. We did say that they were in high spirits and kind of things. So yeah, I think that's fairly reasonable.
Let's just do that, because otherwise we're going to have to go through an inventory and figure out what they could or couldn't have. And
I mean, there's only the magic user, I think, by the looks of it, actually has like braces of defense.
Because like things like a shield are easy to grab, and we don't know exactly what they've got, and
yeah,
I don't think it's worth getting bogged down. So let's just work on that premise.
Yeah. Are you happy with the magic user having his braces of defense?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Yeah,
just
because he's rubbish otherwise.
So I'm just going to let you tell me their armor class. Add 3 to it where you think is appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, should we do initiative again?
Yes.
Better not roll this dice, because that one's a D5. It looks like a D10, but it's a D5.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, well, but it's hard to beat a D5 when I'm using a D10.
Yeah, well, that's the DM's prerogative. 4.
I was going to say, shall I show you mine?
Is it a 1? Ah, gutted. Properly taken. Maybe we're trying to find him or whatever.
Well, that's true. Okay, so I'm going to assume Perrin is trying to like keep him at bay while everyone else is like rallying around. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You can have a go at Perrin again. Okay, hits this time.
Oh dear. Is that with vomit again or with?
No, just with champers.
Okay.
But you're lucky, he's used up all his juice, so you don't have to worry about it for a little while. But he does do...
An awful lot of dice were being rolled down.
You can hear it, can you? So he does 13 damage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Perrin, what? He probably got about 30, does he?
He does, yeah. 30 exactly on the nose.
Oh, does he? Oh, okay, that's a good guess. Okay, so your guys goes...
Okay, so kind of, so I guess Perrin's going to have a hit back. Callum Savage, which kind of their kind of party thing is for him is whoever's on guard on the other side to come back to the fire and then make sure that nothing else is coming around. So you haven't got everyone kind of like running to one thing and then being bushwhacked behind or anything like that at all. So I think for all intents and purposes, he's going to be kind of not involved unless there's something else coming.
Fair enough.
So then, is everybody else kind of there, or?
Oh, you can do what you like now, because if I said cool. you lost the term getting ready, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you. You can have a free hand at what you decide to do.
Okay, cool. So the magic users will magic missile it.
Yeah, well that would make sense. So you might as well give me your 8d4.
Yeah, plus
1.
8.
Right,
that's 1 for each one, isn't it?
We'll do them in sets of 4 because it's more fun to see who's doing.
Yeah. I remember with.
You good?
I did get these out before, and then the kids just dick about with them.
Well, it's pretty good. They're playing with them.
Yeah,
thing, is it?
I like it. Except when I'm trying to look for specific dice and they've kind of disappeared. Right, here we go. Right then. So one does 15.
Alrighty.
Oh dear, that's not quite so good. Yeah, that's not very good at all. And one does 9.
Okay, well, it's been blasted pretty severely, but it is not dead.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
give me a wisdom roll on your highest wisdom, chap.
Okay. Let's have I'll roll it anyway, just to see if. So that's I rolled a 4.
Okay, well, you would have passed.
Yeah.
So basically, after the initial surprise, you realise that this is an ankheg.
I wondered if it was, although I don't know much about ankheggs.
Well, your
Is there
players
anything
might
my guys know about it that they need to be careful about, or apart from it spewing everywhere?
I guess that was the bit. They sometimes spew digestive stuff, but if you don't know anything else, I think I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's absolutely fine. Okay. So Perrin's going to try and have a little bit of a tap at it.
Oh yeah, okay. So sorry, I was just trying to look up morale rules, but this might be over before we have to worry about morale. Okay, so
okay.
what's your? Is it thief? And he
Yeah.
is level 7, isn't he? Quite high up.
Level 7.
Well, they don't progress very fast, do they? Oh,
No.
AC of this devil.
I just rolled a 12, and I've got +3, so 15, which hopefully is a hit.
To miss.
Really, 15?
He basically gets tink off his off this rather chitinous hard and goes, bloody hell,
Okay.
this thing's tough.
Cleric. Okay, so the cleric, you can give it a bash.
He's level 7 as well, isn't he?
Yes. Probably not. 11.
Miss. So he goes clubs at this thing, and then just the vibration just go down his arm. Oh, bloody hell!
That was a push word, man. And then Haynar, who's a level 5 fighter.
Oh, right. Is he? I thought it was 7. Okay.
Yeah. No, the other guy is Callum is the level 7.
Okay, go for it. Oops. What do I call him?
He misses probably. I've got 7 + 1, 8.
No.
No. Oh, damn.
Callum Savage, the man who was carried through the last dungeon. Can he show his mettle?
Sorry.
Time for Callum Savage to show his mettle after being carried through the dungeon last time round.
Oh, well, so Callum, I kind of said was going back to the fireplace to make sure that we weren't attacked from behind. So
okay, fair enough.
It's rather than kind of everybody, although almost everybody has. It's kind of, I think, just we could do that, but then there might be other stuff coming. So even though he is the best fighter, but
fair enough. Okay, so Callum Savage doesn't detect anything else coming.
Okay.
So he can either hold his position, or he can decide to obviously join in next time round. I
think he holds his position unless it gets really bad. We've still got the magic users there. They'll hopefully kind of do something as well. So
yeah. Okay, I'm going to give this thing a morale check because it's got pretty badly pasted. See if it's up for it. So I can never damn well find it.
It's kind of one of those things that we never really did before, isn't it? Everything kind of just fights to the death.
Well, I did do morale a bit, but I think I had a very lackadaisical. I kind of had my own thing going on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this thing's pretty feisty. It's used to eating things. It's not easily deterred. But I'm gonna roll anyway. What am I gonna give it? Okay. So give me your initiative.
Okay. 4.
Okay, you go first. You notice you notice the things like after it's got blasted, it's like so it starts to do a U-turn, pulling back into this tunnel. So you think it's probably trying to leg it.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll blast it again with magic missiles, and then duff it up with
magic missiles. They're severe, aren't they?
They are quite good. They're quite good, aren't they?
Yeah, especially at this level. I know.
Yeah.
I gave you high level guys because I wanted them to have a chance in this thing, so I could actually play test it. But they're definitely monsters, aren't they? Right, give us your.
Okay, so the first one, I think it's the +1 that makes it quite damaging as well.
Yeah, that really does add up.
That's 14 for the first one. And the second one's good. What's that? Second one's very good. 17.
Okay, so basically between the two spellcasters, they just blow this into about 4 pieces.
Wow.
And
Excellent.
just like, boom.
Okay, cool. Lovely. Thank you very much. So the guys will, if there's any bits and pieces they can kind of get from it, they'll try and get those.
Well, you've been collecting mandibles for the barkeep. You might be interested in a set of ancake
especially if they're
skull.
fairly big ones as well. Now I'm kind of guessing that obviously we've not really met these before, so we do think there, but I'm kind of guessing if it's burrowed out, then there's probably a base for it.
I guess it would take. It's quite a big thing. I mean, it's sort of imagine this. It's massive. So you take some hauling to pull it out. I mean, you probably could do it, but it'd probably take you the best part of the night to drag it out of its hole.
All right, and then try and scooch down there into what could be a complete maze.
Yeah, and and I guess who knows? I guess what's tunneling is it? I wouldn't necessarily say it was secure. It might just collapse on you and stuff. So
yeah,
you could, but probably you might be better off trying to find your way home.
Yeah, no, you're right. Let's let's do that. We'll in fact we'll leave it in there in its tunnel, so we're not going to kind of bring it out or anything like that at all. Just if there are any more, then obviously we'll see them. We'll see them trying to come up through this this thing. So we'll go back. Obviously, I guess the guys are probably going to be slightly more ready now, if they are doing anything. Maybe not quite so raucous. I know they're obviously they kind of do it for the thrills of it as well, don't they? Anyway, so
yeah, they're pretty seasoned. This is probably not the first time they've encountered the wilderness, but it's probably a bit unsettling when you think you're near town.
Yeah, and I think the guys will just go back to it. I think we'll have to kind of leave that as a potential mist, but yeah,
you might want to take its head. That might be a nice trophy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, we've taken the mandibles and bits and pieces as well, aren't we? So yeah.
So okay. So the rest of the night goes unscathed.
Oh, can I cast some Cure Light Wounds on Perrin just to kind of patch him up?
Sure. Do it.
I'll probably do 2 just to see if I can get him back. No, 7. So I might do 1 more.
So the only thing I would say is that because of this time of the evening, you're not going to be able to get those back.
Yeah, no, I figured that. So he's back to some. He's got 3 on that last roll as well. So
sure, you keep going until he uses them up, can't he?
No, I think I just go to there because that's him at 27. So he's almost fully back up to thing there. So we might need it tomorrow. So or today, depending on where it is now.
I'm going to say because there was an encounter in the night, again, it's not a restful evening, so he doesn't get the extra hit point from rest.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough.
So you wake up in the morning thinking,
yep,
rightio, that's what's today going to bring?
Let's give it a go, shall we? So 7 for the first one. Oh, 7 for the second.
Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so let me just put this marker down. Yeah, so what were they? 2 7s?
2 7s, yeah.
So next day is also a lovely bright day. Everything's dandy. And you sure you lost this thing? You just want to make me work for it. And now you're in full
lose, I just don't have it open.
Okay, so now it's gone from being, it was sort of, arid, then it went to arid plains, and now it's completely plains. I would say it's still the sort of similar signs of like civilization, but unfortunately, let's just say Yeah, give me roll d6, pick a character.
3. Marked on the top to see, so I find out who that is. It is Azure, who's the cleric.
Okay, so for whatever reason, he doesn't have magical boots, does he? It's just normal boots, presumably.
No, normal boots.
So basically, the bottom of his one of the boots, the bottom of his boots, just completely tears away. So now he's basically got like a boot that isn't
Yeah,
very
that's
good condition.
rubbish.
So
Okay.
unless anyone's got a spare boot, he's going to either go barefoot or have to sort of just tape it,
Yeah.
the equivalent of taping it up, unless you've got magics to fix it, of course. So basically, he's now basically he's like soft moccasins that he's been like walking around in are now unfit for purpose.
So interestingly, and as a side, I was watching some YouTube thing about D&D kind of thing, and they were talking about cantrips and the best cantrips to have and all the other bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And apparently there is a cantrip called Mend that will fix non-magical items.
Yep.
Within a certain thing, but I guess we haven't really gone into cantrips or anything like that at all to see who's got what or anything. So
I'm a massive believer in cantrips, I have to say, but
fair enough.
I don't know. I just think it just devalues magic. Like if you got like lots of little bits and bobs that you can do.
So see what spells the guys have, just in case there is anything that they've got.
And it's not a disaster. It's not the end of the world, but it does mean it's going to be a bit painful and maybe slightly slower going.
Probably, I was going to say slow us down, won't it? Is that actually? Right, give me 2 seconds, dude.
You got one of those spells that like finally have a use for.
Yeah. See if it's actual. Oh my god. So Aya, the magic user, the level 7 pure magic user, actually has mending as one of his spells, first level spells. Yeah. This spell repairs small breaks in objects. It will wield a broken ring, chain link, medallion, or standard dagger, providing but one break exists. Ceramic or wooden objects, multiple breaks can be invisibly rejoined. A hole in a leather sock or wineskin is completely healed over anything. The spell will not repair magic items of any kind, and the spell components are 2 small magnets of any type.
Cool. Well, there you go.
Cool. Well, that was helpful.
It's like
that is literally one of the ones I think there. So I guess that's what they. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
And then he's like, next time, mate, buy some better shoes. I've always telling you.
For real, man. Don't go to the market ones. Get some proper Crocs.
I reckon he's got some like ones with tassels on. It's like I always wear these, man. They're my lucky. This is the 6th time we've mended them. I know you got the spell. I mean, that's why he memorizes it, isn't it? It's like,
man, they're made from hemp, man. It's like I'm just trying to reduce my carbon footprint, dude.
Yeah, that's why it's like, do you realise I could learn an extra magic missile for that? I'd have to keep this for your damn, what are they?
Well, actually, yeah, no, you're right. I need to mark down that it's useful just in case.
Okay, so other than that, you keep going down the road, and it's more planes. Should we roll again?
Yes, please.
Let's roll for the night. Right, nothing happens in the night.
Quite amusing.
8. You're pretty unlucky with these rolls, actually, to get back home, I have to say.
Yeah, no worries. The I guess we, obviously, I guess if we're hunting or anything like that at all, we'll look to just make sure that if we've got some little bits and pieces that we can use, otherwise that stuff needs to be cured and stuff beforehand, doesn't it? But we'll look to see if there's any kind of skin or ligaments and stuff that we can use just in case, rather than wasting spells again next time. Although it kind of worked quite nicely, but just in case.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're memorizing it. You're keeping the spell list up, so fair enough. All right, so do you want to roll for weather? I mean, I'm not going to worry too much about provisions. I'm just going to assume you guys are like capable of foraging off the land.
6.
Okay.
And followed by an 8.
Okay, so suddenly the weather turns really bad. It just starts
Oh, dear.
thundering and lightning and raining. You don't know where this has come out from because it's basically been, beautiful sunny day yesterday. I guess basically it's the equivalent of a thunderstorm. It's just really
Oh, wow,
slating
okay.
it down. And
rough.
you've now this road starts to wind up into some hills.
Okay.
But again, you're noticing step things and stuff, so it still feels quite civilized. It's just you still haven't actually seen one yet. So
Fair
I
enough.
guess you guys hunker down again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hunker down. Yeah, for real.
Okay, nothing much happens. Should we go again?
Cool. Yep.
You should be really rolling these. 'Cause I'm rolling really badly. Really again? Oh man, that's funny.
Is it his other shoe?
Yeah, it is. It's like, jeez, man. Why didn't you repair both?
Man.
Why do you repair these both at the same time, man? Yeah. So, funnily enough, his other shoe goes. There was obviously both on their last legs. So
Yeah.
So presumably he's using his spell to.
Yeah.
Fix it again,
Please, if I can. Yep.
Right. Okay. Oh, weather. Oh, we did weather. Oh no, that's the same day,
Nope.
isn't it?
Not yet. So this time I rolled a 10.
10. It's exciting.
Double 5.
Holy crap. And actually, that's the wrong one.
Followed by an 8.
Okay, I'll do it the right way because I did roll catastrophic event.
Oh dear.
If I did it in the wrong one. Okay, so you come out of the hills and now you're into some sort of a wooded kind of area. And what was the other one? 10 and 8.
10 and 8. Yeah.
And whilst you had some thunderstorms, it's now mainly cloudy with a bit of sun.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, so let's hunker down for the night. Nothing untoward happens. I'm barreling
Lovely.
through a little bit because of keeping one eye on the clock.
Yeah, we've not got much time left.
So should we do the next day?
Yep.
So if you had provisions, it might start getting a bit more desperate, but okay, you're still on the road, and again, you're noting signs of civilization.
Yep.
So what do you roll for terrain?
11 and a 10.
So you're still in woods, and it's now it's brightened up again. So you've had this brief spell of torrential thunder. There was a thunderstorm in the day, but it's basically now cleared up again. Lovely pine trees. You're surprised. You think maybe this road is meandering around, but you feel that you must be fairly close to civilization.
Fair enough. We'll
Right.
keep on going.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing happens at night. Shall we go again?
Yep.
I should get you to roll this. Okay. What have you got to terrain and?
So terrain I've got 7.
Okay.
And then weather I've got 2. Snake eyes.
Okay, so the trees give way to plains again. Right. Okay. And there's basically, as you come out of these trees, basically there's a okay. There is some. What do we say here? Let's see what the word is. Just because I'll let you say it. This label. Okay, so there's basically, as you come out of you come down from the as you come out of these woods, you come into plains, and in front of you, you can actually see the town.
Hey.
Hallelujah! But during the day, the weather worsens and worsens, and some apocalyptic style hideous weather event occurs. What is it?
So if we just had a thunderstorm, so I'm guessing, and then it got really, not really hot, but it got like hot and sunny and all the other bits and pieces. I guess kind of could be getting kind of quite kind of muggy and sticky and all the other bits, but maybe could it be, if we're having kind of sudden things like that, could it be maybe a hurricane touches down, comes down?
I guess a hurricane builds a bit more quickly, but I guess it could be a twister.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you come out of the trees and on the plains, you can just see this like this localized twister coming in. So I guess what do you want to do? I guess the town is about half a day's, well, no, a couple of hours away down the road. But so you can either, I guess you can make a bolt for it and hope that you're not caught up in it, or you can maybe try to hunker down in the trees, but maybe that's worse because logs are going to be on you. Or what are you trying to
give me 2 seconds.
Actually, I want to do something. Give me a re-roll. What did I roll? I rolled that, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to roll for. Okay, so this thing I would say is about. This twister is about half a mile away.
Half a mile away. Oh wow. Okay, let's hope this works then.
It's anywhere from half a mile to a mile away. You can. It's pretty close. But it's not right on top of you.
Cool. Okay. So one of the magic users has Leomund's Tiny Hut. It's another one that we can literally never use any other time.
Is that a spell, is it?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It's a 3rd level spell. Lasts for 6 turns per level.
6 turns per level, so 6.
Yep.
6.
So 7 hours.
10. 6 turns per level. Oh yeah, an hour per level. So 7 hours.
Yeah, so 7 hours. When this spell is cast, the magic user causes an opaque sphere of force to come into being around his or her person. Half the sphere projecting above the ground and half or floor surface, the lower hemisphere passing through the surface. The field causes the interior of the sphere to maintain 70 degrees Fahrenheit temperature in the cold to 0 degrees Fahrenheit and heat up to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold below 0 lowers the inside temperature on a warm form basis. Heat above 105 raises inside temperature likewise. The hut will withstand winds up to 50 miles an hour without being harmed, but wind force greater than that will destroy it. The interior of the tiny hut is a hemisphere, and the spellcaster can illuminate it dimly upon command or extinguish lights as desired.
Can do a light.
Can illuminate it dimly on command or extinguish the light as desired. Note that although the force field is opaque from positions outside, it is transparent from within. In no way will Lumen's tiny hut provide protection from missiles, weapons, spells, and the like. Up to 6 of the man-sized creatures can fit inside the field with its creator, and these others can freely pass in and out of the hut without harming it. If I move out, it breaks.
What has a break?
If the spellcaster moves out, it dissipates.
All right, so I reckon if you cast a spell and you got inside, and I know it says you're not protected from missile fire, but I'm thinking that's kind of like bows, but would generally protect you from being buffeted and things.
Yeah.
But if this thing hits you, it's clearly gonna not gonna protect you. But
yeah.
I mean, one mechanic I'm wondering about rolling. So I was figuring out how far away, which is 6. So 2, if you roll under it, yeah. Right, we're gonna have to figure out how this is gonna. So you're here. I'm gonna say you're here. There's the town. So how are we gonna decide whether this thing is gonna hit you or not? I guess I'm just gonna roll for which direction it's traveling in. This is the only way I can do it, and I'm gonna make that
almost like a catapult kind of roll.
I think I'm just gonna roll D12 just for
a
clock direction. So you can watch it for a little while, see what's happening, and then you're gonna might have to just decide what you're gonna do. So I picked
Yeah.
the spot where it is. So town, I'm just picking the town due north, and you're 6 o'clock, and I'm putting it about 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Roughly.
About a mile away.
Yep, thereabouts. So I'm gonna roll direction. So you are desperately hoping there's not an 8 or a 9, which will
Hang on 2 seconds.
8. Well, what's worse? So it's about there. So really, you don't want 8, 9, possibly 7.
Yeah.
That kind of general
So
direction.
kind of like a 3 would be perfect, really, wouldn't it?
And it's a 2. So actually,
Hey.
it's already swept through. So
Yeah.
it must have passed through here. So in front of you, there's like, it's all like torn up and mayhem. And thankfully, it's
Okay.
not heading for the town. So, I think you would have probably got some sort of sight of it. But I think what you got to do is you can camp down in your hut for your 7 hours and or actually probably only a couple of hours to let it dissipate. And then you've got a chance of then moving forward.
Still getting to the town. Yeah.
Okay, so you're quite lucky. So it's the worst of it's gone. You could get in this hut, which gave you some degree of shelter. I mean, you could even like cast it in the woods, so you can like. I don't know. Maybe
I was wondering about that. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Anyway, let's just say basically you're pretty lucky. It's already moved. It's moving away. So you're like, oh, great. Okay, so you give it a couple of hours. I'm reckoning. I guess we might as well roll for an encounter in case something else is like being flushed out by this. About half a mile away, you see kind of hunkered down in the hills. Let's see if they've seen you actually, whether you've seen them, because everyone's a bit distracted, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lucky.
For me or for them?
For you. Okay. You see 12 bugbears, basically like hunkered down like this. They're a good sort of you could see them, but they're basically a good few hundred feet away. They're kind of let's see if they've seen you. You've certainly seen them. Actually, I didn't pick a number. Can't roll without picking a number. Okay. The best of your knowledge, they don't seem to have seen you, but they're basically in the tree line. So wherever this thing has come through, it's kind of disturbed them from where they are, or they've come out to see it or something. But basically, they're kind of all hunkered down. So
but kind of relatively close to the town, though.
Quite close to the town. I mean, yeah, they're not far away, but by the same token, I guess the issue is once you break from where you are,
lose the hut.
They might see you at that point. So the question whether you want to make a break for it and try to get to town, or whether you fancy taking them out.
Well, I think the guys are fairly goodly in nature, and they'd be fairly worried about having, even though it's only, I say only, but for them it's 12 bugbears, which hopefully they'll be able to kind of take on, hopefully, but it could cause like major problems for the city guard and local kind of homesteads and stuff. So I think we will try and take them out.
So I guess you're gonna have to weigh up when you go, because you might want to use some of the chaos caused by this. Cyclone.
So are they so whereabouts are they in relation to? Are they between us and the Twister, or are they on the other side, or?
They're on the Twister side.
On the Twister side. Okay, cool. So
and that's probably why they haven't seen you, because they're kind of like in the tree line,
looking over that way
and looking at what the hell's going on here. Maybe they thought, maybe they've just been attracted to it. Maybe they thought it was going to hit the town and break the gates down or something.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, then I think what we'll do is we'll go along the kind of like the wood line.
Before we do that, I just want to say it's 11 o'clock. I don't know whether you want to hold this as the waypoint.
Yeah, shall we? Like a natural. Is that all right? Do you mind?
It's fine. I mean, the thing is that if you've got this number of bugbears and you want to take them out, you're you know, we're looking at probably at least 15 minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes
Yeah.
scrap, isn't it? There's a few there.
Yeah.
So should we hold that one?
Let's hold it. Hold it there, mate.
So
That sounds good.
yeah, all right. All right, cool. Sorry, it's a bit short. I know it's
Cool.
my fault, but
Oh, it's all right, man.
you nearly at town, man. Nearly at town. Get lucky with those rolls, and then you triggered the, you know, on the Hex Flower right at the top. There's a calamitous event.
Oh yeah.
So like a roll, yeah, great, got to town. Oh, calamitous event. That's pretty funny.
That's quite cool. I like that though, because it's as you say, it's kind of just, I quite like the kind of filling us kind of both working off each other, really, aren't we? Just to kind of fill bits and pieces in. It's quite good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, well, it's good because you're meant to be, you know, I know I was rolling, you were rolling, but I was telling you what it was. But it does give you the chance to tell me what the event is and stuff.
Yeah.
But oh, coolios. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's
Cool.
quite good fun. You've been able to use your slightly unknown spells. I also think it's quite decent of you not to have ditched your mend spell for another magic missile, as listed in the book. But
yeah. Yeah.
how
Yeah,
many
there is that.
how many magic missiles do you have? You must have per magic user.
4, I think.
Man, that's
So it's
packed a
quite-
wallop, isn't it?
Yeah,
Bam, 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 bam.
absolutely. Yeah.
That it's quite funny when I rolled that ankeg. You said, "Oh, I'm going to guard the camp to see how many more," and I went, "Oh yeah, I didn't roll to see how many there were." So I looked back at the number of characters, like 1 to 6. Well, then rolled it,
Wow.
got,
Gosh.
and then got a 1.
Oh wow, quite O'Reilly. That was quite lucky.
But yeah,
I don't think I've ever met an ankeg in anything. I don't think so. I kind of, because I was thinking like, what could it be? And ankeg was one of my kind of major thing there, but I know nothing about them. So so that was quite cool.
Baldur's Gate 2 is or Baldur's Gate, the computer game. I think you can meet
Oh
ankegs
no,
and
you're
that.
right. Yes, on the in the farm. You could, because you can make ankeg armor, can't you? Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. You can make green Gankek armor, which is, I never finished that game.
Yeah, no, me either. They brought out the enhanced editions now, haven't they?
Don't know, could have done. I'm sure they have.
Yeah, so they re-released them on the thing. They're both 1 and 2. So
I bet there've been a lot of no's.
yeah, a lot of those. And then using the cheats to get all of the books to get all your stats up to 18.
Tell me again.
Using the cheats to get all your stats up to 18, just to get the books of dexterity and stuff.
What cheats?
Do you not know the cheats?
I play by the book.
They give cheats, man.
What's that?
Man,
They give you cheats today.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you could find a couple of books during the whole thing that would, like, a book of
Boost your
dexterity that give you +1 dex and all the
Yeah.
other bits. But then you could just do, is that DM command or whatever it is, where you can like give a certain amount of gold and then certain
right.
treasures and all the other bits and pieces.
Oh,
there.
were these cheats you were allowed to do yourself, but then it said you were in cheat mode, like Civ, or was this like things you got in like a magazine that told you what the cheat codes were?
I think I got them in magazines. I think.
I'm not sure. This was pre-internet, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
you couldn't just Google this shit.
that was amazing, man. I just say, when you'd be like almost like when we spent all that time walking around Leicester looking for the right magazine, but rather than go to the rugby, but
Really?
But
I remember we missed the rugby, but I can't remember why.
Oh yes, you can. We'd think that, but just for a fan club-esque type of magazine.
Right, fair enough. I remember like Dickie B. I remember we were playing Eye of the Beholder and we couldn't get past a certain bit and we're like perplexed.
Oh no, it's Dungeon Master.
Eye of the Beholder.
No, it wasn't Eye of the Beholder. It was it Dungeon Master?
It's not the same game, is it?
No, Eye of the Beholder was true D&D, whereas Dungeon Master was the one where they kind of made it up because you had mana and health, and you'd be ninjas and just punch the doors
wall,
to get
yeah,
your levels, couldn't you?
You put a bit of cardboard under the auto hit key, or what you really need to do is buy the joystick with the auto fire, and you just leave it overnight, come back and you're like 20
Although Although they made it so that every time you hit, your food went down, didn't they? And your water, so you couldn't do it for too long.
Yeah, right, fair enough. But yeah, I remember like we couldn't get past a certain bit, and then apparently it was obviously part of the game to make you drop some of your stuff, so you had to have empty your chests. But we're not giving her stuff, man. Never. That never even crossed our mind that we'd like get rid of. Was watermelons.
Part of that though, that whole thing there, I kind of went, oh my god, that's just. I didn't even think that they'd have a how much you're carrying slows you down slightly type of algorithm or kind of game features in there. And that's just, you look at that and that was like properly back in the day. That's amazing. Really good.
No, it was a good idea, and like, but I just remember thinking, yeah, I would have played that game for like infinity before it ever occurred to me I'd like empty those trunks. Because didn't you put like trunks in trunks? I can't remember.
No, you couldn't put trunks in trunks, but you could put like, I think you could put bags. Could you put bags in them, maybe?
I remember like double loading it. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But it's like, wasn't there a rat guy? Was there a rat guy?
Yes, there was the rat guy, and there was a lizard guy.
Oh yeah.
What else was there? There's a few different things, wasn't there? Yeah.
I think that was the famous "You can't touch this."
Very much. That was, you just it couldn't have been any more time either, could it, man?
That was came around the corner, didn't it?
Yeah.
What was it? It was a mummy, was it?
It was, a group of mummies. Yeah.
Right, because like
I think we'd only just started playing as well, maybe because we didn't have torches or anything, did we? I don't know.
It was definitely, well, I mean, we were in your shed down the end. It was very dark.
Yeah.
And it must have been playing for a while because you'd obviously had that cassette on and it obviously recorded, and you blanked off all but the end bit.
Yeah.
There was obviously a long gap, and then like kicked in when it came out. But yeah, I can't. Yeah. Anyway. See, I tried to play one of those games recently. I just didn't have the attention span. Like you had to like actually memorize the map, like in your head.
It's great, and that type of stuff for you, because like most of, I mean, to be fair though, there's some stuff. So like, I've played a lot of Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, where I've just kind of memorized the city, so then I know which way to go.
Yeah.
And like Helen's just been sat next to me going, "How did you even know that you could go down there?" It's like, oh man, I've been down there like so many times, man. You know,
that's true. I mean, like Duke Nukem and stuff. When you're playing those, especially when you're playing against other people, you do.
Yeah.
And not June.
Doom.
You did in the end like memorize it, but that was kind of, I don't know, it was different again, wasn't it? But you just basically it wasn't like you like repeatedly going around the level. You just like, you're on this level, you've got to like, as you're going along, picturing it, so you got the corners. Because I think you didn't even have the 3D movement so much, did you? You're gonna have to go.
No. Yeah, like, it was one block at a time, and then when it put you in those little turner things, where you then couldn't see that you'd been turned or anything like that at all, those things were a bit of a nightmare. Or teleporters as well.
I can't remember the turners, but yeah, I can imagine that being a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, it's
cool.
We probably could have killed some bugbears at this stage.
Yeah, we probably could have, man. But
anyway, I just wonder. We'll wrap it up quickly. But how did you think the In the Heart of the Unknown worked? I mean, I think it was a bit unfortunate because we ended up going around the circles a little bit there, because I was rolling. I was like getting close and close, but
but that's the whole thing for it, isn't it? Really, and I think it's a lot of the time it's just kind of as I say, just fleshing that bit out and getting both of us kind of working on doing that kind of that thing there. And there's always going to be days on the thing, and you could just go, okay, you travel back 4 days, done. And you could do that if that's the type of thing that you wanted to run.
But
actually kind of doing those things and then kind of just having to think about bits and pieces and trying to play the characters in certain ways is, I think, quite
you
good.
can see how this could work for a solo game where you want to just like go wilderness exploring. You don't have to worry about what's the terrain or planning it. You could just like go in the fly. But I think what's interesting, well, what kind of slightly foxed me of this originally was that you rolled a road immediately.
Yeah.
And so the way I did roads is that gives you a +1 on getting where you want. Because roads lead to civilization, so it's always trying to point you that way. I
wondered if it might. Yeah.
And the only rule is if you roll a double, then the road ends for whatever reason. Or same with the river.
I did roll a double one at.
No, that's on the, but that's not, that's on the encounter engine. It counts, not on the weather.
Right, okay, yep.
So in a sense, you didn't ever roll a double, so you kept getting roads. So it was a bit weird. The road was like weaving around.
Yeah.
But maybe that was just, it was a long way. You know, the road went the long way around to the keep for whatever reason. But you know,
or maybe some ancient road that used to lead to the place that we obviously the place that we were at before. So maybe it might have been like an ancient road to that or something. Maybe.
Yeah. And when Patoli escorted you there, she took about 4 or 5 days anyway. But she might have taken the straight line route to the direct route to the Hive rather than the road that skirted around the Hobgoblin area or the dangerous bit, blah 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 blah. Or maybe the hills. You kept hitting hills, but maybe that was the edge of the hill range, and you were trying to, without going right over them. Anyway, it's.
No, I enjoyed it, man. Enjoyed it. Yep. No, it's good. It is good. I think, as you say, it's kind of filling out those things in between, or actually, if I'd been a little bit more belligerent and gone, okay, we're going to find the ant eggs nest or whatever and stuff there, then you can do those type of things there and have a little sub adventure that you might not be ready for, but you can literally just quickly do a bosh. There you go, done. And it's stuff there, and you can make that as big or as small as you want, really, can't you? So, or feed it into something where you kind of go, you motherfucker, man, you missed what I was sending you at before. Okay, this is where I'm going to get you back into that, and then just you've got this massive dungeon planned, and I kind of go, oh yeah, okay, we're going to go for this butterfly.
Yeah.
Oh man, you need to follow stick and egg, man.
Follow the damn egg channel. But that's true. You could, I guess, depending on what your DM style is and all that, that could have been, as you say, a whole new egg.
Yeah.
Ton of complex.
And even kind of just feeding in little bits and pieces. If you're doing, if you're running like a big campaign or something like that, it's kind of just feeding in little bits that then kind of feed up to this into the bigger picture, and just kind of a little thing at the very beginning or whatever. So so yeah.
And there's still the potential for the ogre to fall from the sky and all that.
Yeah, for real. He'll probably, as we go through the door, he'll fire a crossbow at us or something.
Yeah, well, some did, remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Couldn't believe we rolled 20 on the first one.
Yeah.
Right, Hombre. Okay, well that'll be interesting. It's almost unfortunate you roll the bugbears, because it could have been, and if you hadn't rolled the severe weather event, and we wouldn't have got the bugbears, and you wouldn't have got anything else. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's all right. It's cool though. But it's again though, I think for these guys, then I think they'd probably be like, oh gosh, they're too close to this city, this thing there, we probably need to take them out, as opposed to like, let's sneak off into the thing there.
It's quite interesting because I rolled the severe event, and because you were hunkered down, I thought, something might have been flushed about this. I'll just roll, see if there's a random encounter, and it came up to 6. It's like, no. Right, fair enough, let's go with it. But as you say, it adds a bit of texture. All right, I'm going to hold it any longer because, like you say, we're going to thrash those bugbears by now.
Yeah, cool.
Right, take care, dude. Next time.
You too, man. Good to see you, man.
Bye.
Cheers.